Oh no. Okay, try coming in.
Okay. That is not live. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go this way.
Hello, one and all. Welcome to today's live. Hopefully.
Doggone it.
What?
Hang on a second. Come on.
Let's see if I can do this today.
But it's not live.
It is live.
Not for me.
Make sure you're clicking the right thing.
You froze it.
Nope. Refresh. I don't want to do that. I want...
Oh, good.
Okay, y'all. So, last week... Huh?
Oh, you're frozen.
Are you going in through YouTube?
No, I wasn't. I was going to the other way. Let me see. Live.
I had a lousy week last week. I only got 2 videos posted. We went live, or tried to go live 3 times, and there were 4 posts yesterday, or last week. 1,000.8 peeps tuned into me. We got 7 new subscribers. Thank you everyone who did. We had 16 likes and 7 shares. And it did not. Oh, and our videos, our favorite videos were the usual videos. So that's where we stood last week, which is not very good, but we will do better. I promise we will do better. So without any more damage, let's get into today's video, or today's live. So we're going to start off with the object that I held up last week. And everything that we're going to be looking at today comes out of my danger boxes. Danger box is basically anything that could potentially harm you or unlive you. So this would have been something that our ancestors would have had to deal with. This is a saber from an Asian saber-toothed cat. And one of the things you'll notice is that it is flat. They would have had to be very careful not to break these because they did need these. Hitting against bone with these teeth would have been really bad. It would have shattered them. We talked about these last week as well. These are roundworms. Lovely little roundworms. These fortunately did not come from a person, but people can get roundworms. Which you don't want to get. It's not pretty. This is Tiger's Eye. Oh, I don't like turning this light on. Oh, I can't because it's unplugged. Haha. Hopefully So this is tiger's eye. It's not really up. There it goes. You can sort of see the bands in it. Well, if it were not for being nicely polished, I would not be handling this. Tiger's eye is carcinogenic, or at least the item that causes the banding, the mineral that causes the banding, is actually poisonous, toxic rather. It is asbestos that causes the banding in tiger's eye. So not something you want to mess with. I need to be very careful with this next item because it could very easily break on me, and then I'd be really sad because I don't know how I would replace it. Hopefully you can see that. No, you can't. Can you see that? Oh, darn it. That is probably a male cicada killer. It is a wasp. These guys will go out and paralyze. It's a wasp. These guys go out and they attack cicadas. They sting them, which paralyzes the cicada. The female is doing this. And then they deposit the cicada into a nest. These are a solitary wasp. They're not known to be aggressive. However, I'm assuming the females can sting if they want to, but they're really reluctant. You could sit in the middle of a nesting area and you're not going to get bothered. Seriously, you wouldn't. This is a giant millipede. And the reason that maybe that's a better way to do it. He's coiled up. The head is in the middle. What makes them so dangerous is they can actually sting you. Not sting you, but some of them actually produce chemicals that can actually give you chemical burns. And so you want to be really careful with larger millipedes. The larger the millipede, potentially the more dangerous it is. These are fake. They're replicas. These are tigers' canines. This would be the roots. This is the tooth. And it is quite, there's not really an edge on it, but that's what it would look like in the mouth. I'd much rather be at that receiving end than any other. Now this is actually raw tiger's eye. And the dust from it can cause cancer. No reason to hate them, just to be aware that they're there and not to mess with them. So this is raw tiger's eye, and it's the dust given off by this that makes it so bad. While this is not an actual shark's tooth, this is a model of a Megalodon tooth. This is, I don't know if this is considered a big one or a small one. But these guys would have hunted whale. Maybe other sharks, but at least whales. And like all sharks, they would have dropped their teeth occasionally. And those teeth would have given rise to new teeth. So yeah, sharks are awesome. Now this next thing is real pretty. Be careful. Be careful of what? This doesn't look like much, but this is a big fluorite crystal. And fluorite you have to be really careful with. Because fluorite is actually toxic. You can absorb it through the skin. And this doesn't do it justice. This is actually really pretty. But we're going to put it up because, yeah, I don't like holding it that often. The tiger's eye is here. This is the spine off of a pencil sea urchin. And these really don't, they're not going to harm you. They're not sharp. But if this were a, because I can. a spine off of a bigger sea urchin, ones that actually are pointy. They can break off in the skin. They can cause infections. They are also hooked up to venom glands. I don't believe these are. These are shaped this way because they actually live sort of in rocks, and it helps them to not get blown away when the waves come in. I'm going to be holding worse than that, so... So these are fossils. I'm not sure if these are alligator or if these are some type of fish. But these are teeth. Whoa! I can't hold it. Those are teeth. Not really super sharp, but teeth are awesome because you can learn a lot about an animal by looking at their teeth. Mostly you can tell what they ate. This is a sperm whale tooth. It is a replica. The tooth, part of it would be like that. Luckily, people are not on the diet. These guys feed on giant squid. And they are pretty massive, but pretty cool looking all the same. I have boxes everywhere, boxes and pill bottles. This is another real pretty thing. Why is it all the pretty things are poisonous? This is Bumblebee Jasper. It is not really a jasper. I don't know why they call it that. It is rare, believe it or not. The yellow that you see is sulfur. It is volcanic in origins, but it also contains arsenic. A true fact. So we will wrap that back up nice and tight and put it back inside its box. We would not have to worry about this too much. If at all, we never would have had to have worried about this. This is a replica Spinosaurus tooth. Again, supermarket whales. I have no idea. I've never heard sperm whales called that before. Maybe because they people ate the meat and used the fat for oil. I don't know. But this guy would have fed on mostly fish with some dead animals. It has to do with a chemical produced inside the head. I always try taking this off the wrong way. So this is actually an Asian hornet. These guys are the ones that are called murder hornets. Always when I am... Always. Every time. So these guys are the infamous murder hornets. They are big. They do attack honeybee nests. And they are quite aggressive. If it stings you, if any wasp stings you, they will they release a chemical that attracts other wasp. And all bees do that. So it's sort of a pheromone that they give off. So if you get stung, they release this pheromone that tells other wasp, hey, I need your help. We're being attacked. I'm being attacked. I need your help. And more will come. So not a good idea to get stung. Also, the bigger the hornets, the potentially bigger the stinger, and potentially more venom that can actually be released. This is a little cone shell. We will be seeing more of these throughout the day. Cone shells are infamous for being one of the deadliest animals on the earth. I don't know the species for this one because it's quite dirty. It has not been polished. But we will look at some here in a second that will throw you for a loop and then some. Quite deadly. This is as close as I ever want to get to one of these. This is the killer claw on a velociraptor. They would have used this to potentially have a grip on... They would have had a grip on their prey as they were tearing into it. So that's what that is. This is one of my favorite items that I have in my collection. I like the strange, unique things in my collection. So this is the business end of a stingray. This is what stabs you. This is the barb. And you'll notice the little hooks on the side point backwards. That's to really mess you up. These, as hard as they look, can break off if you get nailed. They are covered in basically in a skin that has a little bit of mucus on it and venom. I believe the groove that runs up it, I don't know if you can see that, but there is a groove that runs up it. I believe that to be the spine or the way that the venom moves into you. Not something you want to get nailed by at all. Not fun. Definitely something that fits the title. Not everything does. This is probably the prettiest thing I have in my collection. Without a doubt. It gets oohs and ahs every time it comes out. This is Argonite. I believe that's what it's called. And as pretty as it is, it contains lead. Another one of those things that you should not be holding. I know the risk. I know what it can do to me, and I'm not really afraid. I say that. Yes, I am. I'm afraid. The larger box actually is more of a interesting box. But we have just only started to get wild and crazy. I have to do this very, very carefully so that I don't end up shish kebab. I wanted a smaller one. Hello. This is a porcupine quill off of the infamous scorpion. Scorpion. It is a porcupine quill off of the, it's either the Cape porcupine or the crested porcupine. Either way, these things get huge. It is not something you want to get stabbed by. The good news is there are no barbs on this particular porcupine, which means if you do get quilled, you can pull them out. On the other hand, they are quite big. This is a small one. They do get much thicker. This is the one I was holding. And this is another one. And you can see the size difference. These things are very, very sharp. And just to give you an idea, I know this isn't exactly skin. I don't know if you can't see that. But they do stick through the bag sometimes. And I really don't want to get stabbed, even on accidents. And these could. Again, those are only for defense. These guys can't throw their quills. They are a little bit different than our porcupines we have here in the States. These guys will stomp their feet. They will let you know that they're upset. If you ignore that, then they will actually back into you and stab you. This interesting little thing is a sea urchin. That circle there is where the mouth would be. And each one of those little bumps that you see is where a spine would be. This is what we call a test. And this one would have had actual spines on it. And those spines would have been attached to venom glands. I'm not taking that out because we've already seen it. I told you that we would be looking at more of the cone shells. So this is a textile cone. And this is a leopard cone. Just for size difference. These guys are very deadly, not to be messed with. If you see them along the beaches in Australia, don't pick them up. Because what could happen is they could literally be on the beach alive. And if you pick it up, the little proboscis that comes out to stab, to fire off their little darts, can literally reach around the entire shell and you could get stung. And the little dart can penetrate the gloves of divers. So, not to be messed with. You would have maybe 15 to 30 minutes. These guys are the biggest of the cone shells. I don't know the toxicity, but it's big enough that it probably would pack a wallop. And by the way, these guys, there is not a... I have 4 of these, and each one has a different pattern. Next up, we saw the megalon tooth. Well, this is not a megalon tooth. This isn't even from an extinct species of shark. These are tiger shark's teeth. Look at that pretty thing. I don't even know if this is going to work. Can you see that? These are sort of sharp. These guys feed on just about anything that enters the ocean. They are man-eaters. Very curious animals, but they are not necessarily monsters either. They're more curious than anything. So you see that circle? Of course you can. That is a hole made by another mollusk. It's actually made by a snail. One of these. This is a moon shell or moon snail. And they actually will drill into the shell of clams and eat it. This is the tusk from a wild boar. These guys get pretty sharp. They can actually sharpen them by rubbing up against each other. And they would have 4 sets, or 2 sets rather, one in the lower jaw, 1 set in the lower jaw, 1 set in the upper jaw. And they are quite effective in taking care of dogs that attack them, or even humans. These are alligator's teeth. And alligator's teeth really aren't sharp. But they have pretty powerful jaws and can latch on with those jaws to do some serious damage. Always a good idea to avoid being attacked by alligators. This is another cone shell. This is the fig cone. Very pretty cone shell. This almost looks like it's been inlaid with wood. We have our last piece from the danger box. This doesn't look like much, but this is actually fossilized bacteria. And if you look, this is that white band that you see. And now I can't even see it. Woo! Almost got stabbed. But these guys build up layers on top of layers on top of layers on top of layers. And since bacteria could make you sick, I thought, why not use it? And this is called a stromatolite. So, what did you think of the danger box? It definitely needs added to. Because I don't think it's complete. I think it needs more stuff. Oh, no, it is not done. So, little scorpion. I don't know the species. But there is a saying that the smaller the pinchers, the more venomous the scorpion. So that's something. There's its real tiny stinger. This is a black widow. You can't really see it, but there is an hourglass. Now, younger spiders, younger black widows, look different than the adults. And they will sometimes have red bands on the abdomen. So now this is the brown recluse. This is the one that always throws people. Anyway, that is that. It's probably, I could have spent more time on it than I did. But that's what they look like. Sort of. They do have the classic violin shape on the head. They have sort of a grayish body, the abdomen anyway. They can be a little big. I'm assuming this is a young female. Sometimes their bites are confused for the bites of, or not bites, but like skin infections, because there are some bacteria that'll get in there and sort of get can get inflamed, and yeah, not pretty. Is there anything that you have questions on or that you would like to see up close again? Oh, I forgot the poll. And for those people that may have come in a little bit later, let me just show you this is the porcupine quill. I'm guessing it's over 6 inches long. I don't know the exact length. Sorry, I dropped the bag. And since I don't want to take a hit from that, and this is the spine of the stingray. Ooh. I was worried about filling time, and I've used up 44 minutes so far. That's pretty decent. Of course, there are more dangerous animals than that. but that is some of the more dangerous types. There are also, by the way, rays that do not have a spine. They are actually electric. And sometimes we call those torpedo rays. And back during the Roman Empire, they would actually put you into a pool, and inside that pool would be one of these rays, and you would get electrocuted, and that was to help you with arthritis. Yeah. Any questions? No. Actually, most stingrays are actually pretty passive. And only get aggressive when you mess with them. So you can swim with them. They're not super aggressive. Though certainly you want to give them space. Don't force the encounter, and I think that pretty much goes with any animal. You don't want to press your luck. Because pressing your luck sometimes can be a mistake. I do have something else I can show you. This is the molt off one of my tarantulas that I used to have. And if you look right there, I can't do it. Oh, if you look right where my finger's at, you will see there is that thing that the light's reflecting off of. That are the fangs. Now they're not very big. This species is avicula. I can't say it. Avicularia. It is a pink-toed tarantula. They actually live up in the trees in the rainforest, and they have a really cool sort of defense mechanism. If you threaten them, they will jump down into the water. I don't know. I believe they have a stinger or a barb. Like I said, I will always be honest and let you know that I don't know something. And I will always find the answer. No, they do not have, manta rays do not have a barb. So, no barb on a manta ray. So, yeah. Any questions? Where is everybody from? Before I forget, they have changed next week's live, or no, not next week's live, Friday. We are doing animals associated with evil. This does not mean that the animals themselves are evil. It just means that for whatever reason, people have decided that these animals are evil. And then Tuesday's live, we're not doing our usual animal lives. I'm going to be reading to you an original work. Hopefully I get a chance to actually work on it. Oh, thank you for the heart. I appreciate that. I don't know what we're doing. So Friday's live is at 5 p.m. if you didn't know. And that is Central Standard Time. And then yeah, we are going to be doing some one of my darker stories, and then we're going to switch over to a Q&A, because hopefully that won't take an hour to read. And it'll probably be a vampire story, not gonna lie. But it will be new because I can't read something to you that's gonna be in the book. Whew. How is everybody's week going so far? I know animals are not evil. And that's why we are going to be discussing them, because I think we need to knock some myths out the window. Sorry, y'all. That's what happens when you get spam calls in the middle of a live. Animals, unfortunately, sometimes get a bad rep. Rather, that's because they are deemed to be dangerous, or they're deemed to be, in league with the devil or witches or whatever. Unfortunately, what happens is they get deemed to be one way or another, and people react in fear, and they start killing them. That actually happened to cats during the Dark Ages. People were killing cats, believe it or not, because they thought that cats were in league with the devil, and so they killed them. Pretty sad. Pretty sad. We have 5 minutes. So this is a time for you to get those questions out that maybe you had bottled up. Or if you want to see something that I showed during the live, you can do that too. I do not mind. I do go live every Tuesday at noon and every Friday at 5. And I'm going to try to figure out when most of you guys are online, and then I might shift my lives to better suit you. I think. Cats were considered to be witches' familiars. But clearly, come on, really? Cats were not. Cats were... Cats are weird because cats make really good pets. Cats keep rodents out of homes. Just because a lady had cats doesn't mean she was a witch. Just because a woman was really good with healing herbs doesn't make her a witch. It just makes her a herbalist. So, yeah. I think we need to be really careful. It's like nowadays, if you bring up pit bulls, some people, not all people, but some people shy away from them because they have a reputation of being dangerous. I happen to love my brother's pit bull. Cyrus is amazing. He better behaved than the German Shepherd. And I love her too, but I would rather be around Cyrus because Cyrus has learned not to jump. I can't read what you just at one point, which meant something woman. Yeah, I can't read it because I have something blocking it. Yeah, I don't understand why some cultures, like in Egypt is a really good example. In Egypt, cats were sacred. You did not kill a cat. And there's some speculation that's because they had granaries. So big buildings filled with grain, and they used the cats to get rid of the rats and the mice. I always tell anybody that if an animal has teeth, they can bite. So, I don't know. I am looking to add some snake fangs to my collection. Well, not all cats were ugly. I mean, yeah, the ones that are mummies aren't exactly pretty, but oh well, what can you do? Okay, guys, we're 59 minutes into this. I am going to say goodbye. I have stuff that I need to do. I have videos to post and videos to film. So I will talk to you later. Love y'all. Remember to never stop learning and never give up on yourself. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.